Hey girl. All right, let's take a look at this bar muscle up. First of all, you have a really good foundation set. So most of the things I'm going to give you are just kind of some little tips and things that you can take to refine the skill, especially kind of in your connection between reps. But you're off to a really, really good start. So there's not anything like too crazy that we really have to break down and dig into in this muscle up. Just a few little changes and tweaks for you to try out. So the first thing that I want to know is your position when you jump up to this bar. Okay, so let me draw some lines here so you can see. So we got lat engagement here. I would actually like to see even a little bit more. So this is good. This is why I'm pointing it out. So I'm going to show you a difference here in a second. But see, it's a little hard to tell because we're not directly from the side, but you can see how your shoulders are behind the bar. So this is like the plane of the bar, and this is the plane of your shoulders, and your shoulders are behind the bar because you have that lat angle right here of where those arms are connecting into your shoulder, and then legs are out in front from here, okay? We can even do it a little bit more. Like think when you jump up and make contact with the bar, think about having your arm from this angle like below your ears. So you almost jump so high and engage so much in those lats that you're like in a really solid V position before you even start. And not just with your legs, but the V starts from your arms. Okay, so it's almost like a big toes to bar when you start. A bar muscle up is actually much more like a toe to bar than it is like a pull up. Okay, so a really big toe to bar position when you start. Which you do pretty good. It's not bad, but I'm going to point something out here in a second. So you can see like this kind of looks like if I were to stop you in the middle of a toe to bar. So first rep of your bar muscle up here. I'm going to come back to it. Your turnover is pretty smooth on that one because we had a good start, good momentum built from that starting position. Now I want you to take a look at your trajectory here on your come down. So we're coming almost straight down in like a straight body position right here. And now, as we pass under that bar, when we should be hitting that same similar toe to bar position, check out the angles here in your body, okay? So, right here, arms still aren't quite all the way straight, and you can see how you're almost directly below the bar, and your feet are way out here in front of the bar. That's a big difference in like, and this is quote unquote the start of your second rep. That's a big change in starting position from your first rep to second rep. So what I would like to see you do here to kind of replicate that starting position again is from the top, okay? You can lower back down a little bit first, so if you're lowering to here, but then as you pass that bar, past this part, actually get your chest a little bit further behind the bar, so think about falling back just a little bit more and actually bending at your hip and creating that pike position a little sooner. So like right here, we would have that straight arm position and feet out here while you're still behind the bar, similar to how you had in that first rep, that position that you jumped up to. Because you'll see here in a second, this position starting from here has a big difference on your turnover because now your body is and momentum is much further out in front of the bar, and it makes that turnover just a little bit harder because you also get further back behind the bar this direction. And if that continues to build rep after rep, that turnover becomes harder and harder because you feel like you're further away from the bar. You're having to do more work to get back towards the bar. And that's just a product of kind of that difference in your come down position. Okay, so let's take a look here. Go the wrong way. Back to rep number 1 here in a second. So I want to point out some other things. So that's the first thing that I want you to work on. I want you to work on jumping up to even more of an aggressive lat engagement. And then on your consecutive reps, trying to replicate that same position. So if you videotape more, try to watch yourself in slow motion and try to make sure that on your come down from the bar, you hit that same position going into the next rep. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about, and this is your first rep, so actually a really great job here on the first rep. First rep is beautiful. Let's go to like rep 3 or rep 4 once they start to get a little bit more squirrely. And you can see here, this is rep 3, same thing, coming down really close to under that bar. So by the time your arms extend, you're already almost in front of the bar, okay, directly under, if not in front of the bar. Okay, and we want those arms to extend still with our body back behind the bar, so we have that momentum of our swing forward. And the other thing I was going to say that you can work on is using this momentum from your turnover just a little bit more. So what I like to teach people is in CrossFit, obviously form and what it looks like, It matters in the sense of efficiency. We want it to be clean. We don't want any extra movement that's going to take away from getting the job done. But we're also not scored on how it looks. So something like bending your knees or something, if it gives you a competitive advantage, then we should go for it. So like here, you have a small knee bend, but what I would actually teach is even more of a knee bend. So letting those feet hang down just a little bit more and trying to get those knees up towards the bar a little bit more by engaging your lats and actually getting your upper body back behind the bar more, similar to what I was talking about on that come down. On the way up, we want our body to get behind that bar to balance out our swing. And then as you go here for this transition, so as the hips open right here, also thinking about bringing your heels to your butt. Okay, so nothing changes in the knees here, but if we bring our heels to our butt, similar to like a hamstring curl. So knees aren't bending up, knees aren't coming up to the bar anymore. We're just curling those heels backwards like you do a little bit right there. Okay, but even more. So right here, bringing them all the way up to your butt. It's going to help speed up that flip and give you some rotation forward. Okay, and while you do that, since you're getting more help with that rotation, you have to do less pulling with the upper body. So I'd like you to keep those arms straight even a little bit longer. So right here, we're bending to kind of pull into that bar, whereas I would like to see you keep your arms straight a little bit longer until we rise higher above that bar to allow you to catch further down past like that belly button where those arms are a little bit higher. So as you're bringing those heels in towards your butt, you're going to be pressing down with your palms into that bar, continuing that straight arm pull to delay your turnover just a little bit. By delay your turnover, I mean delay your pull to your turnover, because you're getting more momentum from that lower body flip. So that way you can continue with your straight arms just a little bit longer. Cool. So those are the major things that I would say to work on. But like I said, you're off to a really good start here. And you naturally, so the timing right there is perfect on that. You naturally want to do it. Just continue with it more. Keep pulling those feet back so they help you to keep flipping right through there. Okay. And while you're doing it, remember the important part is trying not to pull early with those arms, trying to use that momentum from your lower body so that way you can flip. But the big one that's really going to make a big difference for you is the come down from that bar muscle up. So you can see here, close, 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 almost straight down, and we're already in front of the bar before we come out. And then so let's take a look at this. So this is your arch position here on this last rep. Way out here, and let's see. What do I want to mark? When we're here, right before hips open, this is our knee position. So I haven't checked this yet, but my guess would tell me if we go back to that first rep, you're going to be much further behind the bar when we compare it. So arch is still about the same because that's your range of motion. Let's check out where these knees finish. Okay, so not too bad, but a little differentiation. But the biggest thing is, I should have marked where your shoulders were, is getting those shoulders back behind the bar. And on this very first rep, when you do that, when you jump up into this guy right here, you get a much more coordinated pull and get that upper body back behind the bar in this one, which helps you rotate and all that good sweet jazzness. So that's it, girl. Try those tips out. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, just shoot me back an email so that way I can explain it maybe a little differently or something. But working on that come down, thinking about not necessarily pushing away from the bar, because we also don't want to overdo it and get any extra swing, but trying to replicate that same position that we were on the way up is going to be huge for you. And kind of balancing out your momentum so you're not spending more time out in front of the bar than behind the bar. Right now we just have a discrepancy. You're out in front of the bar much more often and for longer during the skill than you are behind the bar. So we want to balance that out so you're centered right below the bar, make your turnover much easier. Cool. That's it, girl. Thanks so much.